Hey everybody, I'm Justin with AmericanTrucks.com, and today I'm taking a closer look at and showing you how to install the Morimoto XB Hybrid LED headlights fitting all 2019 and newer halogen-equipped Ram 1500s. Now, you should be considering the hybrids if you're a big fan of the Morimoto quality, but can't necessarily justify the higher price tag of some of their more top-shelf options. Now, the hybrids here will feature a black housing topped off with a clear lens, along with LED daytime running lights and modern LED projectors, all for right around that mid $700 price point. So the hybrid series from Morimoto is really a great option for truck owners who want a very high quality light loaded with some cool accent lighting, but don't really want to drop the $1,500+ on their top of the line premium XB offering. Now the hybrid does get its name because it does combine some modern LED lighting. In fact, I would say a majority of LED lighting with a little bit of factory incandescent lighting, hence the hybrid name, and that is ultimately what's going to help you keep the price down compared to some of your other more expensive options here on the site. But make no mistake about it here, guys, again, a majority of your lighting with the hybrid is LED powered, including both your high and low beams, loaded into the very aggressive and modern looking projectors, which are really going to help improve your visibility at night. Now, on top of the LED high and low beams, the hybrids do also deliver the very cool white daytime running light, both up top and below, that illuminate along with your parking lights whenever your headlights are fired up. Now, these LEDs do feature the same Osram technology found in the more expensive Morimoto options and will shine at a nice bright 5000K color temperature. Now moving into construction, and this is certainly a highlight for me here as well because the Morimoto stuff is typically top-notch. Same can be said for the hybrids on the table with us here today. Let's start off with the housings, guys. You are looking at an ABS plastic housing in black. There is a little bit of gloss surrounding those projectors, and then everything is topped off with that UV-resistant polycarbonate lens. Now, getting back to that hybrid aspect here, again, majority of your lighting is LED. The lone incandescent bulb here on this entire package will be your turn signals, which will basically just get transferred over from your factory headlights, and that's it. So again, I don't really think that's a big deal. The fact that you are using a incandescent turn signal bulb while still getting all of the benefits of an LED projector is definitely worth checking these guys out. Last but not least here, guys, they are SAE and DOT legal. That does make them legal for use in all 50 states. And they also feature a plug and play install, which will certainly make the installation that much easier. And can't forget, they are backed by a 5-year warranty just in case you ever run into any issues. Pricing here for the hybrids definitely worth talking about, as that mid $700 ballpark figure for the pair makes these very affordable in the land of LED upgrades. Again, roughly half the cost of the more premium XBs from Morimoto or even some of the Alpha Rex offerings, which, by the way, these are very impressive, again, given the bang for your buck and the fact that you're really only sacrificing a turn signal bulb here. So if you want that LED performance but for not a whole lot of dough, these should be at the top of your list. All right, let's finish things out here with our installation for today's video. Site's gonna go strong 1 out of 3 wrenches on the difficulty meter and call this one at least an hour to complete from start to finish. But now to give you a better idea of how this one might go down on your Ram at home, let's throw it out to the guys in the shop for our detailed walkthrough and tool breakdown.
For this install, you're gonna need a 3/8 and a 1/4 ratchet, a 10, an 8mm socket, a short 10, a T25 and T20 socket, a clip removal tool, diagonal cutters, and zip ties. All right, today we're gonna be installing some headlights on our Ram, but first we're gonna watch a quick video how to uninstall the stock ones, then we'll come back here to install the new ones.
So for this install, you're gonna need to pop your hood, remove your upper rad cover, the grill, and some of the surrounding trim. It's a pretty simple process. I'm gonna walk you through the whole thing. So let's get started. So we're gonna start by removing our upper rad cover. There's a bunch of plastic clips that need to be removed. So I'm gonna use my plastic clip removal tool and pop the heads of them open. And then once I get those all removed, I can pull the panel off. And we're gonna pull this panel right off. The next piece we need to remove is the headlight trim and grille trim here on the top of the vehicle. It's a combination of a pop clip and 10mm screws. So I'm going to use my clip tool once again and a 10mm socket to pull all of these out, and then I can just remove this piece from the vehicle. Next, I'm going to use my 8mm socket to remove some of the screws here on the inner wheel well and pull the liner back to expose a little bit more hardware that's hiding behind the liner so I can get this panel off that surrounds the headlight. So now that I have the liner pulled back, I've exposed this 10mm bolt here inside the wheel well liner, and I'm going to use my 10mm on a ratchet and just pull that out. Now I'll just repeat this process on the other side. Next, I'm going to need to remove my grill. There are 3 10mm bolts at the bottom of either side of the grill, and there are 4 across the top. I'll just use my 10mm socket on my small impact gun, remove all of those screws, and pull the grill off. So now that I have my grill removed, I can go ahead and start unbolting and unhooking my headlights. I have a clip here at the top, as well as a 10mm bolt, and then I have a 10mm bolt here on the side from the fender, and I'll just use my 10mm socket and my clip tool and pull those out, and then I can unhook my headlights. It's a little hard to see, but I'm just going to unplug my headlight connectors from the back. Just push down on the tabs to release them, and then you can pull the headlight out.
All right, now before we install these, we just have to swap a couple parts over from our stock headlights. So we're going to start with our bottom trim piece here. We have 2 T25 screws on the front and then 3 on the bottom. I'm going to grab our ratchet and socket and take those off. All right, now we have our 3 on the bottom. just lift our trim piece off. We just put it over our new headlight now. And we can reinstall our 3 at the bottom. And then our 2 on the front. All right, now we just have our small trim piece on the top of the headlight. I will install the new one here. So we're gonna grab our ratchet and our T20 socket and take our 3 screws out. All right, now we just install it on our new headlight. All right, now you can go ahead and repeat the same thing for the other headlight. All right, now we just need to swap our turn signal bulb over. So we're gonna give our socket a 1/4 turn here to release our bulb. Pull that out and go over to our new headlight. Same thing, 1/4 turn. We're gonna plug our bulb into our new headlight. Put it back in and 1/4 turn. All right, now you can repeat the same thing for the other headlight. All right, now we just need to do a little bit of wiring. We just need to run a fuse tap into our fuse box, and then we have a couple wires we're gonna run to either side of the vehicle. All right, now we're gonna take our fuse box cover off. Just push these 2 tabs in on either side, lift it up. All right, now we're gonna remove fuse F38. That's this 10 amp fuse right here. We have our factory fuse puller here. Pull that out. Get our fuse tap and plug that in place. Have the wire going out towards the engine here. Reinstall our fuse puller and put our cover back on. All right, now we just need to run our wires. We have our shorter wire here, which will go right here to our driver's side. And we're gonna take our longer wire, run it behind our rad cover. We can zip tie it to our horns or whatever, however you want to run it. Just make sure it doesn't touch anything moving or hot, and run it over to our passenger side. All right, now we're just gonna run it here. We're gonna zip tie it to our horn bracket. Take a pair of diagonal cutters and just cut off the excess. All right, now we're just gonna keep running it all the way across behind our rad support, and then pull it out through where our headlight wiring will come through. And we could just bunch up the excess. Grab a zip tie and secure it. All right, now we can install our headlights. All right, now we just need to plug in our 3 connectors. So we have our 2-pin turn signal connector here. We have our single wire that we ran and our headlight connector. Then we can put our headlight into place. All right, now we can install our 2 10mm bolts, one on the top, one on the side. All right, we're gonna thread our 1 10mm bolt up here. We can reinstall our push clip also. And tighten this down with a 10mm socket and ratchet. All right, now we just have our 10mm bolt on the side. Grab our ratchet and tighten that down. All right, now you can repeat the same thing for the other headlight. All right, now we're gonna put our grill back into place. Lift it up over our tabs on our headlights. Then we can install our 4 bolts up top and 3 on either side. All right, now we're gonna install our 3 lower bolts. We have our 2 longer ones. We go towards the inside. Our shorter one, we go on the outside. Grab our ratchet and 10mm socket and tighten those down. All right, now we can put our painted cover on. All right, you can go ahead and do the same thing on the other side. All right, now we can reinstall our 10mm bolt that we took out of the inside of our wheel well. It's gonna be hard to see, but just reinstall that with your ratchet and short 10mm socket. Reinstall our wheel liner. And then with our ratchet and 8mm socket, we can reinstall our 8mm screws that we took out. All right, now you repeat the same thing on the other side. All right, now we're gonna reinstall our 4 bolts on the top of our grill. All right, we'll grab our ratchet and 10mm socket. All right, now we can reinstall our chrome cover. And we're gonna reinstall our 10mm bolts that go across and our push clips. All right, then we have our radiator cover. Put that over and reinstall the rest of our push clips. All right, and that wraps up our install of our Morimoto XB Hybrid LED headlights with a black housing and clear lens for our 2019 and newer Ram 1500 with factory halogen headlights. And remember, for everything Ram, keep it right here at AmericanTrucks.com.